Hey collectors, and welcome to my next haul. Today we're looking at what I got in October. 5 scales, a Nendoroid, and some Danganronpa merch. Looking at the merch first, I've picked up a couple of pins and 2 pairs of underwear. The pins, they're pretty simple, made of metal, not really much to say. The underwear, however, who doesn't want to wear Monokuma and Monomi on their butt? The quality is pretty average, but these definitely aren't designed to be worn regularly. But moving to figures, let's start off with the Nendoroid. Here we have the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker version Zelda. Now that's a mouthful. She comes with a decent amount of stuff, several hands, sword and shield, and her bow. She looks very cute. All of her details are really sharp, which is nice, and I really like the paintwork on her. It is difficult to get her to stand upright normally because of the change in her back peg. She's definitely a good addition for the previously released Wind Waker Link. Moving on to scales, first up we have Aquamarine's Sagiri Izumi from Ero Manga Sensei. I particularly like the design on the box, it's very comic-y. She's a 1/8 scale and in a pretty bland pose, but she is very cute. Her paint is really well done, though it is a bit flat. The sculpting is all very sharp, and what I've come to expect from Aquamarine these days. I particularly like her eyes, and the tablet and pen that she comes holding. I actually have her sitting next to my Intuos now because it matches. One bad thing though is that base. It is woeful. They've also decided to put her pegs into her feet rather than on the base, which is a very interesting choice. And for those wondering, she has salmon pink bloomers. October saw 2 Token Ranbu figures release, which was awesome for me. First up we have Kiyomitsu Kashu. He was actually my starter sword in the game, which made me very excited to get him. I do particularly like that they've been going with the poses from the original cards because they're all very well designed. Kashu has been made magnificently. The red and black colour scheme with gold accents works so well. Unlike the Nendoroid, they have included his painted nails. His long slender fingers are definitely something to envy. The printed decal on the front of his jacket and the diamonds on the inside of his coat are both done incredibly. He also does not have any noticeable seams in his hair, which is great. It's definitely a big improvement on the last released one. Even though his coat is mostly black, it's still done really well. The same also goes for his pants and his boots. The other Token Ranbu figure that was released this month is the ever so loved Jiji. Just looking at him in the box, he looks exquisite, and taking him out, it's just mind-blowing. The shimmery blue of his outfit, all of the minor details are all incredibly sharp, and I absolutely love his face. All of the printed decals and small details are really sharp, and I can't find any faults whatsoever. Tassels are all individually sculpted and they're made of a softer PVC, so you don't need to be super worried about them snapping off. But of course, you do need to be delicate with them. He has got some very small hair seams, but they are all very well integrated into his head sculpt. I'm very excited to see what Orange Rouge do for the rest of this line and what other male figures they come up with. Next up, from Kotobukiya, we have the horror Bishoujo Edward Scissorhands. I know a lot of people were unsure about this. She doesn't seem like a character that should be Bishoujo-ified, but I think this has worked out really well and they've done an amazing job on the final product. She matches the artwork very, very well. Despite again being mostly black, she's actually really interesting to look at. Just look at that face. She looks incredibly elegant. Her hair has so much volume. Her dress has an opaque layer and a semi-transparent layer, and this adds a lot more depth. It's also very sharp, so do be careful. All of the little scissors have been individually sculpted and painted, and they all look very good. Her base as well is also really, really nice. She is screwed to it, so you can't remove her. Last up, I think my favourite of this month's haul. This is based off some artwork, and Alphamax have also added 2 suitcases for her to sit on, which I think is a very good idea. Set up, she looks great. All of the sculpting in her hair is individually done and very sharp. She does set up with magnets, however these magnets are quite weak, so that's definitely something to be mindful of if you're going to be moving her around. The suitcases as well are individually sculpted and they open. So I've also gone and added the interchangeable bunny body into one of the suitcases so I don't need to get it out of the box. How cool is that? She also looks very cute without twin tails. And installing her twin tails is very simple. Her face matches the art really well. However, compared to Alta's Sora, I think this one isn't quite as refined. And that's all of October. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.